What's up, everyone? This is AMHarbinger, and I'm going to give you my impressions on Assassin's Creed Odyssey Shadow Heritage. Now, this is the second DLC campaign for the three-part campaign that's supposed to launch throughout 2018 and 2019. The first one was the Legacy of the Blade, so if you haven't played that one yet and want to avoid spoilers, now's your chance. So, Shadow Heritage takes place after the events of Legacy of the Blade. Of course, you see Nima again, and Darius, depending if you're Cassandra or Alexios, you'll see his son or daughter. But nevertheless, it continues your fight against the Order of the Ancients, which is like another sector of the Templar Order, but it doesn't really get into that. But for the most part, this DLC is a massive improvement from the previous one. In the last DLC, I felt it was very streamlined, uneventful, and it just really ended on a somber note without doing anything truly shocking. Here, it's a lot more varied. You get a lot more missions that take advantage of the Assassin's Creed Odyssey's many gameplay mechanics such as hunting, ship combat, and various other activities. It doesn't deviate from that plan, but it gives you so much to do in terms of not trying to overshoot the same concept over and over that you never feel like things drag on for too long. The new enemy is someone called the Tempest. In the first DLC, it was the Huntsman. This woman is an admiral and extremely lethal. For the most part, she seems very bare bones, very lethal individual, intelligent, and part of the Order, willing to die for her beliefs and etc. But as you play through the campaign, you learn that she's actually a pretty tormented character. It's a bit of a cliche, but I find her much more refreshing than the previous villain, the Huntsman. He had potential, but he just ultimately fell through. But here, it really fleshes out the characters. There's also more of a choice here. In the ending portion of the DLC, you get more of a diversion path, which I really enjoyed, that ends up in one of two directions. And most importantly, it does have a massive, great cliffhanger. Like, I did not see it coming, and I doubt any of you will, but of course, I'm certain that a lot of you expected a cliffhanger. This is obviously the second DLC, and the third one will end this campaign. But for the most part, I really enjoyed it. It doesn't introduce anything new. You'll still do exactly the same thing you've always been doing. There is a new type of ship modification. I won't get into details what it is, but it's very cool, but not that effective. Like, they paint it off. They make it seem like it's this very destructive power, and it seems like it should be, but it also seems like the developers toned down the power of this new weapon so players can't abuse it. But I understand why they toned it down, because if it was actually the way they described it, it would tear through enemy ships like they were toilet paper. But nevertheless, this is very surprising. At first, I was wondering whether this DLC campaign would be worth it, but so far, yeah, DLC 2, Shadow Heritage, really upped the ante, and I cannot wait to see how the third part ends. So if you've still been holding off on the DLC campaign, I would recommend that you actually purchase it now. It's that good. And if you're a hardcore Assassin's Creed fan, you'll find a lot of value here. But if you're still on the fence for it, and you are not that big into the Assassin's Creed franchise, if Odyssey was something that you really didn't get into, then yeah, don't purchase it until the third one comes out. Then you'll have a uniform opinion. But for now, it's really well done, and I can't wait to see how Ubisoft concludes this.